Hey guys! So today I'm going to be making a video that I've been planning on doing for such a long time now. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be telling you guys all about sorority recruitment and basically everything that I wish I knew before I went through Rush. I watched a ton of these videos before I went through recruitment myself, so I'm making this for anybody who's currently in the same position that I was about a year ago. So if you guys didn't already know, I attend Florida State University and I'm a Gamma Phi Beta. Decided I'd wear my sweatshirt to rep in this video since I thought it seemed fitting. I'm going to be sharing my Rush Week experience, which will directly apply to anybody who's going to be attending Florida State. However, a lot of schools do it very similarly, so I feel like this can help anybody from any school. There's a lot of things that I want to cover in today's video, including my experience, outfits, advice, and kind of just any little tips or advice that I have to offer. I'm going to try to make this not scattered and try to be as efficient and helpful as possible, so please bear with me. But yeah, with all that being said, let's just get started. So starting off with the basics, sorority recruitment, which is also known as Rush, is the week-long process that you go through in order to join a sorority. For me, Rush took place in the fall during the week right before classes started. So since Rush started right when I got to school, I actually did some preparing during the summertime leading up to that. So the first thing that everyone needs to do is register for recruitment, which they can do online, and every school has a separate website for that. Something else that I did during the summer was get recommendation letters, and this is something that I was very unsure about. I heard from some people that you needed rec letters from all sororities, and some people said they literally didn't matter at all. So I was kind of torn in between and ended up trying to get as many as possible. Looking back, I definitely think recommendation letters can help you out if you have easy access to get one. But honestly, there's no point in bending head over backwards to try to get them, so don't stress out if you don't have one for every sorority, because in the end, all it does is give a sorority a little bit of insight on you before you arrive to know what to expect. So like I said, Rush took place a week before classes started, which meant that I was having to move in early. I was living in a dorm freshman year, and the school actually allowed for any girls that were participating in recruitment to move in on an assigned day. So yeah, I did get to move into my dorm early, and luckily my roommate was rushing, so we were able to go through it together. On the same day as move-in day, I actually had a check-in that I had to go to, and it's basically just where you get like all your things that you're gonna need for the week, and you check in and like let them know that you're there. So this is where I got my name tag, a little booklet, and then the 2 shirts that I was gonna have to wear during round 1. I actually have some of these things still, so here's my little name tag I just thought I'd show. I literally had this around my neck the entire week. It's basically something that just like identifies you through the week so that people know who you are. They also gave me a water bottle and a clear backpack, which I was supposed to be using all throughout the week. You're not supposed to be using your own bottle or bag during the week, just for safety purposes and so that they can know what you're using and bringing. The first thing that I kept in my backpack was an umbrella, and luckily I did this because it actually did rain one of the first days, and you never know what the weather's gonna be, and you don't want to get rained on with all your hair, makeup, and outfit done. I also kept some touch-up items like blotting sheets and lipstick and mascara and powder and anything that I needed to like touch up my face, because you're gonna be like running around and needing to touch up makeup before you go into the houses. So check-in was super simple. I just had to get all my things and then I was able to leave. The next day is when orientation takes place, and Florida State did an entire day of orientation, which was something that they had never done before. During orientation, they're basically just going to be telling you a bunch of things about what to expect during the week and helping you prepare so that you feel a little bit more confident going into the process. During orientation, you're also going to be meeting your ROGAM group. Your ROGAM group is the group of girls that you're going to be going through the process with, so you're going to be meeting with them every single day, and they're also going to be the people that you're going to all the houses with during round 1. There's also a leader of the group who is known as the ROGAM, and she's somebody who already is currently a part of a certain sorority at the school. However, you don't know what sorority she's in because she's unaffiliated during the week. Your ROGAM is definitely someone who's going to be a really good resource to you throughout the week because she's someone who's already gone through the process and been in your shoes, so she can definitely help you out a lot, and she's been through training to help prepare for the week as well. Something that was exaggerated a lot during orientation was the idea of your values. I was kind of confused by this at first, but once I went through the week, I totally understood why it was considered such an important part about recruitment. During Rush, you're gonna be having a ton of conversations with a ton of different girls from a ton of different sororities. And your values are supposed to be a good guideline for these conversations, just so you're making sure you're talking about things that are important to you and things that you value. Because that's what a lot of girls are looking for when they're having these conversations. They want to get to know you and they want to know what you value and what you like to do. So yeah, those are pretty much my main touching points about orientation and check-in and all those basic things. So now moving into the sorority recruitment week itself. So Rush consisted of 4 different rounds, and each round was about 2 days, except for the last round, which was only 1 day. Starting off with round 1, which was also known as scholarship round or the academic round. During this round, you're going to be visiting every single house, and it's split up into 2 days, so you're going to be seeing each house once throughout these days. And at Florida State, there's 16 sororities, so you're gonna be visiting a lot of houses and it's going to get tiring. So don't let that discourage you, just letting you know. So on this day, we had to wake up early. I can't remember exact times, but it was like 7 or 8 in the morning. So the first thing that we did was meet with our Rogam group, and this is where we got our schedule for the next 2 days. During round 1, you actually stay with your group the entire time, which is really nice because you probably haven't been to any of the sorority houses before and you don't know where you're going, and luckily you have your Rogam who can lead you to everything. Being with your group was so nice because during this time is actually when you get to bond with your group and you get to know the girls a lot more, and I actually ended up becoming friends with quite a few of the girls and still are friends with them today. So yeah, we got our schedule, and the way it's broken up is you do like half the houses one day and half the other. That's not always the case for future rounds, but that's how it was for round 1. So after we received our schedules, my group went over to the first house that we were going to be visiting. Usually you always get there a little bit before the time you're actually scheduled to go inside, so there were tents and fans and water stations set up for you to just hang out and chill before you went inside the house. Once it gets closer to the time where you're actually going to be going into the house, you have to line up in numerical order based on your PNM ID number. So every single house is on the same clock, so they're going to be opening and closing their doors at the exact same time. So making sure you're in line in an orderly fashion on time is super important. But yeah, they do the countdown and the doors open and you hear music and you see all the girls standing there, and they come and they start picking up girls one by one. And this is when you're gonna meet the person that you're gonna be talking to first at that house. I remember before I went in, I was super nervous standing in line, and then as soon as the doors opened and I got picked up, all my nerves went away. You just need to remember during the process that you're just having a normal conversation, and the girl who's on the other side of it is nervous too. Like, I'm gonna be on the other side of recruitment this year, and there are so many things that I need to remember and do properly in order to make Rush go smoothly. So yeah, I'll get to experience that this year. I'm a little nervous about that, but I think it'll be really fun. So yeah, I had to do the same thing for all 16 houses, and by the end of it, it was super repetitive, but you get to meet every single sorority, which is super cool. During round 1, I actually lost my voice, and I think it's because I wasn't used to talking so much, and that's totally normal. People are gonna be losing their voices throughout the whole week. But yeah, having hot tea with honey was a lifesaver for me, and there's also something called throat coat that I know is super useful to people. Luckily, after the first day of round 1, when my voice was starting to go, I was treating it with like the cough drops and the tea, and I had my voice for the rest of the week. Every single round you're encouraged to dress a different way, but round 1 there's actually a shirt that you're required to wear. So these are the shirts that you're given at check-in, and I had one for each day of round 1, but they were the same shirt, just different colors. And you're allowed to style it however you want. I know one day I wore like a jean skirt with some Vans, and then the other day I wore like a little frilly skirt with some sandals. Something that's super important during round 1 is that you're making sure to take notes every single time you leave a house. Since you're going to so many different ones, and honestly they're all gonna seem super similar during the first round, you're gonna make sure to take notes about things that you either liked or talked about or something that stood out to you. There was a spot for you to do it in the little booklet that they gave you during check-in, but I typically just took my notes in the notes part of my phone. But you're usually recommended to do this right when you come out of the house so that you don't forget, so just spend like a minute to just jot down a few bullet points just so you can refer back to them later. But yeah, during round 1, I definitely liked some more than others, but there weren't a ton of distinguishing factors between them yet, so that's something that you end up finding out later in the week. So on the second day of round 1, once I had visited all of the houses, I actually had to go to a computer lab, which is where I did the ranking. And the way it worked for round 1 is you actually picked your top 12 favorite sororities, and those weren't ranked in any specific order, but the remaining 4 I had to put in order as from favorite to least favorite. There's no guarantee that you're gonna get your top 12 back. It also depends on how the girls you had conversations with felt about you as well. But yeah, honestly, you just go through the ranking and then leave, and then you won't find out what you're gonna be getting till the next day. So that leads me into round 2. So during round 2, you're also gonna have to wake up early, and this is when you're gonna meet with your group again, and you're gonna be getting your schedule for that round. This is the first time when your schedule is gonna be different from the girls in your Rogam group, because you guys are gonna be getting different houses back. And this also means that you're gonna be on your own during the day, so you're not gonna be having your group to guide you. But yeah, you get your houses back, and the way that you get it scheduled is not in any particular order. There were 15-minute gaps between every party, and the party is like the set time that every house has to let girls in. And you might have back-to-back parties, meaning you only have like 15 minutes between every single house you go to. And this means that you might need to do some running, so make sure to bring some extra shoes just in case, so that you're not having to run around in like heels or uncomfy shoes. I know I carried just an easy pair of flip-flops in my bag. Don't be too nervous about being on your own, because there will be Rogams stationed all throughout the streets in front of all the houses that can help guide you as to where to go. But something that's super important is that you are making it to the house you're required to be at on time, because unfortunately, if you don't make it there on time, you will be dropped from the entire process. That sounds a little scary, but honestly, you shouldn't be missing a house if you're running and getting directions and just making efficient timing. There were a couple times where I literally showed up like 15 seconds before we went in, but that's all you need to do. As long as you're on the site on time, you're good. What you're gonna find during round 2 is that you're gonna be having a lot of similar conversations to round 1, but honestly, just make sure that you're bringing up things that are important to you, and the conversation should be guided in certain ways for you to mention things that you hadn't mentioned before. But if you're feeling like you're being repetitive, that's not unusual, because I know everybody was feeling that way at this point. Like I said, this round is called financial round, so when we first went into every single house, we got a piece of paper that broke down the dues. Sororities are pretty pricey, so they wanted to let you know right up front how much you're gonna be paying each semester, as well as what's gonna be included in this cost. Yeah, obviously you're also gonna be having conversations about things besides money. Unlike round 1, for round 2, it's the first time where you actually get to wear completely your own outfit. The way that it's usually described is that you're supposed to get more formal every single day, but I honestly found that round 2, 3, and even 4 were super similar, and you're mainly just gonna be seeing girls wearing rompers and dresses. So I know for one of the days I wore like a romper with sandals, and then one of the days I wore a dress with sandals. After round 2, you're expected to pick your top 6 houses, and then whatever remaining houses you visited, you're gonna be ranking in favorite to least favorite. So that was the end of round 2, and now moving on to round 3. So round 3 is also known as Philanthropy round. You meet with your group on the first day of round 3 early in the morning, and you're gonna be getting your schedule for the next 2 days. The most amount of houses you're allowed to get is 6, but you're not promised to get 6 back. It kind of just depends on what you get. Once again, it's not going to be in any split up perfect order, and you're not guaranteed to have breaks. They could all be back to back or spread out super well. Like I said, this round is called Philanthropy round, so at some point during your party at the house, they're going to be showing you guys a video that kind of gives you a little bit of insight into the philanthropy that they work with. Each house has its own philanthropy, which is the organization that the sorority is supporting and raising money for. I definitely think it's important to learn about the philanthropy, because you may find that you have connections with some philanthropies while you don't with others. Personally, I found it really important to have a connection with the philanthropy, because I wanted to be raising money and working towards an organization that I felt passionate about. This may be the round where some girls cry, and honestly that's normal if you're really talking about something that makes you emotional. And that's kind of the way it's supposed to work. You're supposed to have deeper conversations as you move through each round. I feel like round 2 definitely solidifies your liking towards others, but round 3 is really gonna help you see where you think you belong. And even though you might like a bunch, you're definitely gonna have ones that you connected to more. The attire for round 3 was really similar to round 2, except I typically saw more girls wearing like wedges and heels, So I know for one day I wore a dress with some platform sandals, and then another day I wore a romper with wedges. Round 3, you're definitely going to be doing your hardest rankings because you're going to be going from around 6 sororities down to your top 2. So you're going to pick your top 2 and then the rest you're listing in the same way from favorite to least favorite. So the last and final round is round 4, and this is known as preference round. A lot of people usually just call it pref. Pref is only 1 day, so this is actually your final day of recruitment. The most amount of houses that you can have is 2 houses, and most people typically do get 2 houses back. However, having 1 is also normal. Pref round is definitely gonna have a different vibe than any other round you've attended. For one, the girl that you're gonna be talking to is someone that you already talked to before, so you're gonna have a familiar face. And during this round, it's when a bunch of the sororities show you a little bit of a deeper insight into what their rituals and sisterhood is like. So it looks super pretty and cute. Girls are wearing like nice long gowns, and it's honestly such a good vibe inside the house. You might really like both houses that you have left. However, during this round, I'm guaranteeing that there's gonna be something about one of the houses that really draws you in more than the others and shows you where you think you should be. So yeah, after you're done going to both houses, you might be totally clear on your decision. However, you might be a little bit distressed and really torn between the 2 houses. Prep round is definitely the round where I got the most clarity and knew where I was supposed to be and was fully confident in my decision to be a Gamma Phi Beta. So shout out to you, prep round, I love you. The outfits for prep round are typically known to be more formal than any other day. I'd say my outfit was a little bit nicer than round 2 or 3, but I wore a dress and heels. For the final time, you're gonna be heading to the computer labs where you're gonna be making your rankings. So once you got to the computers, you had to do the same that you've done all week, except you're gonna be ranking 1 house as your top choice and 1 as your second. And then you leave the computer lab and you're done for the week. Honestly, at that point, you're just waiting till the next day to figure out if you've gotten a bid. Recruitment week is definitely an experience that's gonna be unlike anything you're ever gonna go through again in your life. Just talking about yourself time after time again is gonna show you things that you didn't already know about yourself, and it's gonna help you understand things that you appreciate and look for and value in your life. But you are gonna be really tired and exhausted, and I'm not gonna deny that. So the last day is bid day, and for the last time you're going to be meeting with your Rogam group, and it's super sad because you're not all going to be together again, but it's super exciting because you're about to find out which sorority you're in. We all got together and then we headed over to the Civic Center, which is basically just the big auditorium where they have basketball games. It's just a place where all of us could fit. Before we got our bids, we actually got to see which sorority our Rogam was in, which is just super exciting because we got to see which house they were a part of because we didn't know the entire week. And after that, you're finally gonna be getting your bid. So the way it worked for us is our Rogam actually got a pile of shirts, and she put each of them under our seat, and they were all differently colored based on each sorority. And then they do a big countdown and you're allowed to look, and then you can see which sorority you're a part of. And it's so exciting because you look around, you can see if anybody in your Rogam is in your sorority, and everybody's just so excited. People are screaming, people are crying. I actually have my shirt that I got on bid day right here, so it just says Gamma Phi Beta at Florida State University. So everybody puts on their shirt and then starts exiting the Civic Center. So you do what's called run home, and a lot of girls actually literally run home. Some people walk, honestly, up to you. Once you get to the house, all of your new sisters are standing outside holding signs with the names of all the new members. When you get there, you're gonna be given a shirt and a bag with a bunch of cute things inside of it, and they get you all decked out in the theme. For bid day, I just wore jean shorts and sandals, and then you just get a shirt at the house, so I just wore things that I knew would match any shirt that I'd be getting. But yeah, during bid day, you're just taking a bunch of pictures, you're meeting all your new sisters, you're eating a ton of food. But yeah, that's everything that you're gonna be going through for sorority recruitment. Once bid day is over, you're done with everything and you've officially found your new home. Something that I want to emphasize and reiterate to anyone who's going to be going through this process is that through the entire week, you should be being your complete, true self. Don't try to be anything that you think people want to see or that you think is most accepted. Because obviously, if you're not being yourself, then you're not going to end up in the right house for you. Have fun with sorority recruitment because you're only going to be on that side of it once, and then once you're in a sorority, you can be on the other side a few times. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all for watching this video. I really hope it helped anybody who's going to be going through rush or recruitment, because You have a long week ahead of you. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see any more college or sorority videos. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video.